Hey, YouTube, what's going on, y'all? Cat here checking in with another video today. Today we got American Confidential. This right here is Stephen WhiteBoy Williams. Just gonna get into it.
A man who the Philadelphia district attorney calls a contract killer is facing new charges. Stephen Williams is now charged with 4 counts of murder, conspiracy, and weapons offenses. Authorities say he collected thousands of dollars as a killer for hire over the past 2 years. Williams is accused in ambush-style shootings of 4 victims in Francisville, Ronhurst, East Mount Airy, and West Oak Lane. Williams is now behind bars on unrelated charges.
Stephen Williams is a 25-year-old accused professional hitman facing charges of 4 contract murders in Philadelphia. Williams told police that he's aware of the murders, but other people are making him the, quote, fall guy, it said in an article about his arrest in June of 2020. Steve Skeezy, or as he was known in his hood, WhiteBoy, was from West Oak Lane. He repped 6900 Ogons. We've talked a lot on this channel about drill rap and the young boys and their beef, but this story is a little different. Outside of all the drama I cover that usually has some element of music to it, this isn't one of those cases. Philly has what the streets would call heavyweights who wield their gains from selling drugs by paying to control the streets. They would pay hitmen to do their dirty work, and some of them had enough money to pay whatever it took to get rid of people. That's what authorities allege was happening with WhiteBoy. Police allege that between May 2018 and September 2019, Stephen Williams accepted contracts worth thousands of dollars to murder the 4 men, the Philadelphia Inquirer reported. All 4 men were shot to death, 3 of them while sitting in or getting out of parked cars. On June 12th,
Hey, you know what's so crazy, bro? And the scary part is, like, bro, these type niggas be walking among us on an everyday basis. Like, for a nigga to, like, be a serial, bro, they not sane in the head. For a person to be a serial, bro, you're not sane in the head. I understand. I understand one, but just do it just to live for that shit. Like, man, come on, we about to go do this.
2020, District Attorney Larry Krasner charged Williams, or WhiteBoy, with 4 counts of murder, conspiracy, hindering apprehension, possessing an instrument of crime, recklessly endangering another person, tampering with evidence, obstruction of justice, and related weapons charges for the guns. Following a complex investigation by Philadelphia homicide detectives, my office is today able to begin prosecution of Stephen Williams, who collected thousands of dollars as a contract killer. His streak of wanton, violent crimes against our communities over the past 2+ years ends today, said Krasner in a press conference announcing the arrest. Stephen Williams was already in custody at a Pennsylvania state prison on unrelated charges. He was connected to the 4 homicides through the murder weapons, said Larry Krasner. Stephen WhiteBoy Williams at first denied any links to the killings, but once he was told of the evidence against him, he claimed others conspired to make him the fall guy, like I said earlier.
Motherfuckers start owing Hammer money. So when you owe somebody money, they want their money, or you gotta pay for that. Sometimes you gotta pay with your life. So the dudes who was cool with Forest Ave and cool with 77 Ogons, there's 2 different neighborhoods, so it's 2 different group of people. So it was dudes that was very close to Hammer that he was supplying that was on Forest Ave, and one of them was playing both sides and setting other ones up. Okay, you owe me this money, I'm feeding you. Make this boy meet you here. Make this boy meet you here. And that's what was going on. And that's why it was so easy for dudes to get tagged up and lined up, because somebody was playing both sides. That's why y'all see that video with that boy allegedly with the curly hair, supposed to be a hitman. This boy supposed to be on Hammer team. Knocking people off, like at least probably 3 or 4 of these dudes, man. You know, allegedly.
At Stephen Williams' trial, the state says they will present evidence that connects Williams to all 4 murders. Starting on September 8th, 2018, at 9 o'clock in the morning, William Crawford was shot twice in his head, back, and twice in his torso on the 1900 block of Hartel Avenue. Crawford was pronounced dead at the hospital. 6 .40 caliber fired cartridge casings were recovered from the crime scene. The alleged motive in this case, according to authorities, is murder for hire. A witness stated he was driving in the area when he saw a skinny, light-skinned black man wearing a faded hoodie approach the victim from behind. The witness then heard gunshots and saw the victim fall to the ground. Shortly after the murder,
Hey, the effects, bro. The way you got this shit playing out. Hey, okay.
a light-skinned black man wearing a faded hoodie approached the victim from behind. The witness then heard gunshots and saw the victim fall to the ground. Shortly after the murder, detectives received information that the person responsible was known as WhiteBoy and were provided with photographs from his Instagram page, which was 6,900. Detectives obtained Instagram records for his username. The records for that account indicated that the account belonged to Stephen Williams and revealed conversations and posts relating to the murder. The Instagram records also revealed that Stephen Williams repeatedly provided a cell phone number on Instagram around the time of the murder. The call detail records were obtained pursuant to a search warrant and were analyzed. Per the call detail records, on September 8, 2018, Williams' phone connected to the tower covering his house prior to the murder then traveled to the area of the 1900 block of Hartel Ave and connected to the tower that covers that area. Immediately after the shooting, the phone traveled back to the tower covering Williams' house. In February of 2020, homicide detectives received information from the ATF of a ballistics hit that matched the crime scene of 2 different murders, the murder of William Crawford and the one of Richard Isaac, which we'll talk about in a second. The .40 caliber fired cartridge casings recovered from the respective scenes were fired from the same weapon, according to authorities. The murder weapon is a .40 caliber Glock 27 with a serial number that they established. Stephen Williams had information extracted from his phone by authorities on May 7, 2019, pursuant to a search warrant. The cell phone extraction contained a photo of a hand who authorities identified as WhiteBoy's and holding the murder weapon, according to them, with the already established serial number. The photo was sent to contacts in Williams' phone in an effort to sell the gun. The cell phone was connected to 2 phone numbers utilized by Stephen Williams during his commission of these 4 homicides. According to authorities, the evidence presented at trial will establish that on February 10, 2019, Jermaine Simmons was shot 7 times in his upper torso and right arm while sitting in a car parked on the 7500 block of Forest Ave. He was transported to Albert Einstein Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. The crime scene was processed and 11 .45 caliber FCCs were recovered and 7 9mm FCCs were also recovered. A witness stated that she was on 7500 Forest Avenue when she heard what she thought was firecrackers. She looked out the window and saw a black car shooting 2 guns into another car and then speeding down Forest Ave. She then saw the driver's side door of the victim's car opened. She left her house and walked towards the car and heard a woman yell, "He's on the side of the apartment building." The witness observed Simmons in the driveway, lying on his side. He was unresponsive. Surveillance video that was recovered captures a black car entering the 7600 block of Forest Ave and then parked on the west side of the street. That same black car then pulled back into traffic and traveled southbound onto the 7500 block of Forest Ave and out of the camera's view. Video cameras were able to capture the license plate of the black car that was seen on camera. Stephen Williams was stopped in that car 7 times between December 2018 and May of 2019. He was arrested while driving that vehicle on May 7, 2019, which led to the search of his cell phone. After Williams' May arrest, the black Lexus was released to the defendant's family member on May 12, 2019. That same black Lexus was located and recovered by police on the 2600 block of Napa Street. A search warrant was served on the vehicle. Mail, proof of residence, and photos of Stephen Williams were recovered. There were phone numbers that were recovered from that cell phone, which also provided a second phone number that was being utilized by Williams. The call detail records from that cell phone was connected to a tower covering the crime scene on the 7500 block of Forest Ave when Simmons was shot and killed. Additionally, the records show that the phone left the area immediately after the murder. Incriminating text messages were also recovered from the cell phone. Authorities say that on March 25th, 2019, Richard Isaac was shot 6 times while sitting in a chair on the front porch of a home in East Mount Airy. Police transported Isaac to Einstein Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. Recovered from the crime scene were 8 .40 caliber FCCs, 2 projectiles, and 2 bullet fragments. The alleged motive in this case was also murder for hire. Detectives received information from the streets that the person who shot and killed
So the last one won a murder for hire. The last one just was like, what was that one all about?
Richard Isaac lives near the Cheltenham Mall and that they call him WhiteBoy. WhiteBoy is a known nickname for Stephen Williams, based on Instagram records and other information. Additionally, Williams resided less than a mile from the mall. This is all according to authorities and is in Stephen Williams' motion for consolidation of these 2 cases. Based on a review of the 6900 Instagram account, detectives were able to identify a number utilized by Williams at the time. Records indicate that the phone was connected to the tower on Meehan Street where Isaac was killed, and that same cell phone record indicates that it left the area immediately after the murder. Surveillance video of the incident, when compared to photos posted on the 6900 Instagram page, revealed that Stephen Williams was wearing the same clothing that was captured on surveillance. Earlier, I said that there was a ballistic match. This crime and the William Crawford murder both had .40 caliber FCCs that were recovered from the respective scenes. Authorities say that those .40 caliber shells were fired from the same weapon. Once again, authorities claim to have pictures of WhiteBoy holding this particular gun, and they have serial numbers to apparently back it up. Authorities also maintain that they plan to establish at trial that on Saturday, May 4th, 2019, police were flagged down by a pedestrian at 20th and Girard Avenue and were told that there was a shooting victim inside a vehicle at the intersection of Corinthian and Girard. Police went to the car and found Leslie Carroll suffering from 6 gunshot wounds to the neck, upper torso, and shoulders. The victim was pronounced at Temple Hospital. 8 .40 caliber fire cartridge casing and a projectile were recovered from the crime scene. A witness stated she heard gunshots coming from the intersection of Corinthian and Girard Ave and saw a black vehicle speeding away west on Girard Avenue. The witness saw...
Damn, so this nigga was doing shit in his personal vehicle?
what appeared to be a male slumped over or sleeping in a blue vehicle, and there were bullet holes in the car. 15 to 20 minutes later, the witness saw a female flag down a police car and direct the officers to the blue vehicle. Surveillance video was recovered and shows a black four-door Lexus following the defendant's vehicle as it drove south on Ridge Ave and then pulled into a gas station at 19th and Girard. The Lexus's license plate matched the same license plate that is known to the car associated with Stephen WhiteBoy Williams.
Mo. What the fuck?
The video captured the black Lexus following the victim's car to the gas station to the immediate area of the shooting, and although the shooting is not captured on camera, the Lexus is seen fleeing from the location after the shooting and is indicated by the response of the witnesses. Stephen Williams has been stopped by police in that same black Lexus 7 times, as I mentioned earlier, from December of 2018 to May of 2019. Stephen WhiteBoy Williams was stopped in that car on May 7, 2019 when he was arrested, and the phone mentioned above was recovered. In the extraction of that phone, messages about each of the above murders were revealed. And there was also another phone in which Stephen Williams sent photos of Leslie Carroll and said, "I think that's him," consistent with the time the Lexus was following Leslie Carroll's vehicle. Additionally, just like every other incident I've covered so far, the cell phone data indicated that the phone was traveling in the area of 20th and Girard when Carroll was shot and killed, and then fled west on Girard.
Hey, moving sloppy. If you're gonna do anything, I understand we love these cell phones. We love them, right? We love them to death. Leave this shit somewhere that's close to home, man.
As described by witnesses. Less than 5 hours after Leslie Carroll was shot and killed, Stephen WhiteBoy Williams sent out text messages to 8 different people announcing that he had a .40 caliber Glock 22 for sale for $750.
And that shit is even crazy, bruh. I know niggas is all criminals, right? But shit, Don't sell me some shit that got a body on it though, bruh. Like, part of the game is this. Better off throwing that shit in the ocean somewhere.
The FCC's recovered from the crime scene were fired from a .40 caliber Glock,
You
which
getting
is
all this
consistent
money, you could buy a whole new Jones. You don't gotta sell me some shit. Don't sell me that I got a body on it, my nigga.
with the weapon that Stephen Williams attempted to sell, according to authorities. Additionally, WhiteBoy's phone contained a
Why
screenshot
get that motherfucker melted down or something?
photograph that was dated May 4th, 2019, which read, "Shooting in front of Girard College. Reports are that the person passed away." This screenshot is from the Instagram page No Gun Zone. Stanley Crawford, the father of William Crawford, remembers every excruciating detail from the morning of September 8th, 2018, when his daughter frantically called him and said his son William had been shot. "I see my son's blood from the gunshot on his right temple, his right cheek, and chest splattered on the ground," Stanley Crawford said. After William's death, Stanley founded the Families of Unsolved Murders Project. It's a grassroots organization that seeks to bring attention to cold cases by using peace marches, neighborhood cleanups, and anti-violence events to try and help improve the quality of life in Black communities.
Man, that's, bruh. It's all elder people, bro. That's what I be trying to tell you niggas, man. Like, you niggas don't get it. Like, you don't get it. And it's not funny. Like, nigga fathers, niggas mothers, niggas grandparents, niggas aunts, uncles. Like, people trying to live a regular life. Like, y'all be destroying niggas' real families. Like, but we don't know what them niggas did, though. But at a certain point, all these niggas that you just showed was old as shit. Like, all old heads. Like, old heads. Get the fuck out the streets, man. Like, fuck y'all still trying to be 60 years old in the streets. Y'all trying to be 40 years old still in the streets. Get your old ass out the streets, man. Y'all made enough money to where y'all should be having properties. Y'all should be having real businesses. Like, I be seeing some of the most goofiest niggas do to some of the goofiest shit. Like,
If giving Philadelphia the right to have its own gun laws saves lives, the court should do it, said Stanley Crawford. To not would demonstrate our government has lost its humanity. 10 survivors from Philadelphia and Pittsburgh joined the city of Philadelphia and Ceasefire PA Education Fund to sue the...
quick question. If the East Coast had laws like the South, where it was like a stand your ground type shit, how y'all think that would work out? Like, what y'all think? I don't know. That shit probably be something totally different. Like, that shit'd be brazen.
The Commonwealth for endangering lives, especially the lives of Black residents who are 20 times more likely to be murdered with a gun than white Pennsylvanians. With the passage of the 1974 limitation on the regulation of firearms, the lives of...
Hey, he just said a bar. This is what the fuck I'm talking about. Listen to what he just said.
Black residents who are 20 times more likely to be murdered with a gun than white Pennsylvanians. With the passage of the 1974 limitation on the regulation of firearms and ammunitions act, the General Assembly handcuffed local governments and barred them from enacting evidence-based policies like requiring permits to purchase firearms and extreme risk protection orders. As shootings escalated, a trove of data from other urban centers provided options to each legislators for statewide policies that would prevent the violence. In each session, dozens of bills languished without even a hearing. Stephen Williams is doing court next month. According to court records, it looks like he might have pled out. He himself posted that he got 18 years. My speculation is that his private attorney told him that a deal would look like 18 years if he cooperated. To be very, very clear here, I don't know what the deal looks like and what is expected of him. Normally, in a case like this, where the prosecutors suspect that the defendant is a hitman for hire, they want something in return, most likely a name.
We begin with breaking news. Police are on the scene of a deadly shooting in Manayunk. Eyewitness News on the 300 block of DuPont Street. That's where investigators say a man was found shot to death inside a Hyundai SUV parked inside a garage. The victim had been shot multiple times. Police say the SUV was hit with more than 30 bullets. Several eyewitnesses are being interviewed as police search for the suspect or suspects.
Gee, I didn't know. G3 means debt-free education when you train in one of
WhiteBoy was locked up in June of 2020. A few months earlier, in February of 2020, someone named Adine Fulton was killed. They call Adine Hammer on the streets. Hammer is from North Philly, but migrated to Uptown and put a lot of work in up there. The feds had him under their radar and surveillance, and it seemed they were building a case against him at the time of his death. After his death, they had access to his phone. My speculation is that they saw messages between him and WhiteBoy, and that's how they were able to find out as much as they did.
But first, police have not yet identified the shooting victim here, have not given us his name or his age, but they do believe that the shooting victim lived at the home where all of this violence unfolded last night. Live here at the scene this morning, you can see police remain here in Manayunk. I was able to speak with this victim's next door neighbor who says he didn't really know the victim. The victim apparently kept to himself. I also spoke with another neighbor who recalled the terrifying moments last night. He had his wife and kids get away from the windows when he heard all the gunshots. He says there was a lot of young children in this area who live on this block, and this violence has families shaken this morning. This was an especially violent attack. Police say someone or some group of people fired on this victim more than 30 times and killed him execution style. And because of that, police do believe this victim was targeted. Now, the violence broke out here on the 300 block of DuPont Street in Manayunk just after 8 o'clock last night. Police got multiple 911 calls about shots fired, and when they arrived, they found the garage here filled with smoke. After the fire department cleared that smoke, investigators then found a man dead inside of an SUV. Police found more than 30 spent shell casings at this scene on the street, the sidewalk, and inside of the garage there. Dozens of bullets pierced the SUV's driver's side and window. Now, police have not yet released a motive for this attack, but crime scene investigators have documented the scene and detectives have located surveillance cameras nearby.
As far as WhiteBoy's plea deal, I have no further information about it or any additional details. He has court dates set for next month and one later this year. I will be able to tell you guys for certain what happened with the potential deal and the outcome of this case after those court dates. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'm gonna leave it there for now. Thanks for watching American Confidential, and until next time, be safe.